everybody, and welcome to another episode of this week's Stoke. And I hope that you're liking the rebrand and some of the episodes that we've had so far. And I'm sticking to the theme. We've got industry experts, we've got great athletes, and today is definitely not going to disappoint as well. So welcome, Doug Lewis. I'm so excited to have you on today. He has been running this incredible camp called Eliteam, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about how it works, what the dryland does, and what he hopes for his athletes that participate in it. But he was also a pretty amazing skier himself. So he's got some awesome insights, and I'm really excited to have him talk to the whole community. So welcome, Doug.
Thank you. Great for having me. I've been watching your YouTube video, so I'm honored to be on.
Well, so it's so great to have you, like I said, but really let's get started. I'm just going to kind of tell the sync community some of the things about you, just so they realize how cool it is to have this opportunity to hear from you. And so Doug is a two-time Olympian, one of the original American downhillers, and really just this incredible athlete and ski racer that has so much insight to share with everyone and is really doing his part to give back to the ski racing community that he was a part of. So Doug, I know I gave a little bit of a start here, but is there anything you really want to add about how you came to where you are now?
Just that I was one of those random kids that grew up in a small little ski club. I grew up at Middlebury Snow Bowl, which is a kind of tiny ski area in Vermont. And I was just part of the junior racing program. My mom was a ski instructor. So me and my brothers and sisters and friends, we just skied the mountain all day. And that was important because we fell in love with skiing. And then I got introduced to ski racing. And if you had asked me at age 8, this little kid, just rugrat, what I wanted to do, I was like, I want to be on the US ski team. So I had those goals early. I moved from Middlebury to GMVS. From GMVS, I went right to the ski team. And through luck and a lot of hard work and a big commitment, I was able to represent the US in 1984 and in 1988. And my biggest day came in 1985 at Bormio, one of the toughest downhills in the world now. We didn't know that at the time. Everything came together. I had one of those days that you dream about, that all that blood, sweat, and tears for 30 years came through, and I was able to win the bronze medal at the World Championships. And to finally be on that podium, something I dreamed for forever, was just a dream come true.
And not to mention, too, you were the first ever US to win a medal in that race. So that's pretty amazing, and congratulations. But it's funny that ski racing is one of those sports that you have this entire buildup, years and years and years and years and years of ups and downs, a lot of downs, hopefully some ups. And then all of a sudden you have this amazing event. And so that's incredible. I wanted to kind of move away from your career and really move into what you're doing now for the ski community. You have created this program called Eliteam, and you started it kind of a decent amount of time ago now with Craig Sourbeer, this program that helps with dryland for younger kids. Is there any way you can go into what the program is, why you started it, and kind of some of the goals that you initially had for the program?
Right. So in a nutshell, at Eliteam, we educate and inspire junior athletes to really just pursue their dreams and push their limits. We focus on building complete athletes by teaching the concepts of sports physiology, which is all the workout, sports nutrition, which is food, fuel, energy, and most importantly, sports psychology. So those three pillars: sports physiology, sports psychology, sports nutrition. That's what we teach to athletes, because anybody, and a lot of people do, focus on the skiing, right? They're out there, and you have to be an excellent skier. But when you get to the higher and higher levels, everybody skis the same level, right? At the Olympics next year in Beijing, the top 12 racers could win. What's going to separate them is the confidence, the focus, the way they can handle that stress, the fact that they've fueled properly, and the fact that their body is in perfect shape. So it's all that other stuff that Eliteam teaches. And we've made quite an organization through 30 years of teaching and inspiring kids. So that's what we do. We have clinics, we have camps, we have videos, we have online programs. And I'm amazed, through 30 years, we've touched thousands of kids and hopefully educated them. Is this year, alone, we have 5 people on the US ski team: Schifrin, Masuga, Merriweather, Krupka. It's amazing that these kids that I coached when they were 11, they're now representing the US ski team. It makes me feel great.
Yeah, and so you mentioned you have these kids and you've had actually a handful through those 30 years that have gone on to the US ski team. Being a part of that growth and that development for those athletes, is there like one key thing that you think that you gave them that made them take that extra step? Or is it just that whole picture that we've talked about since the get-go?
I think it's the fact that I just plant those seeds. So if we're talking about physical fitness and I'm teaching the kids that what anaerobic means, right? And they're taught to do sprints or to do a HIIT workout, but they don't know why. But if I can teach them why anaerobic power is important to ski racing, they're going to work harder to get better at that, because I've now taught them why it's important. If I can teach an athlete why protein or carbs are important to them, they're going to eat better, because who wouldn't? If I eat better, I'm going to ski faster. And then lastly, with that sports psychology, teaching them and planting those seeds about focus, confidence, embracing failure, cue words. If I can just plant those seeds, then I let them go back to their ski clubs and those seeds start to grow. And that's what makes me feel great. When I can see Schifrin or see Krupka or see Merriweather using what I may have taught them 10 years ago, that makes me feel good.
It's a pretty awesome feeling to know that just those little seeds and just that little piece of advice could make such a difference for an athlete's life. So I guess then really the question is, when do you start working with these athletes? When do you normally start to see the ages that come to these dryland camps, and how do you start preparing them for that journey?
So our magic age, the age that we love to coach, is 11 through 14. So U12, U14, U16s. That to me is the age where they listen. That's the age where they will do anything. If I'm going to say, like at camp this summer, we have a 6-day camp. We did 2,000 burpees. If you're listening to this podcast, you've probably done a burpee before. They're gnarly. Well, 2,000 in 6 days is over 200 a day. And so the kids jump on it. They're like, let's do more than 2,000. So that age group, they're into it. They learn the most, and their bodies are learning really quickly. I tried to unicycle last year during the pandemic. It took me weeks. All right. I teach these kids unicycling at age 13. They learn it in a day. It's amazing what that age group can do mentally and physically.
And so you have these 3 pillars and you have these camps. Is there anything that you go in outside of that, maybe that you've added in recently to the camps as you've developed over the past couple of years, or have the programs really stayed the same since its founding?
The philosophy of teaching those pillars has always been the same, but the way we do it may have changed. We have the camps. I'm going to Steamboat tomorrow and doing a 1-day clinic for them. Awesome. But because of the pandemic and because of our age, my wife and I decided to move into the online world. So last year, because everything was shut down, we went online for 12 weeks. We had 500 kids. We had an amazing time bringing the energy, bringing the education, bringing the commitment of Eliteam online. And now we've taken it one step further. So now we have the Dig Deep Academy, and we have workouts for the athletes that want to push their limits physically. We have courses that teach nutrition and psychology and physiology. And then we have a clubhouse. Think of Facebook, but Safe Sport, where it's all positive, and there's US ski team athletes hanging out, talking to the kids. And so we've now have an academy, and we're pretty excited about it.
That's amazing, and such an incredible growth, and kind of a cool way to take something that was so difficult as COVID and figure out how to move forward with it in a positive way. I know that you also do a ton of journaling. Is there any way that you can kind of go into some of the importance of journaling and why you've added that into the Eliteam kind of process?
I should have been more prepared. I do have the Eliteam journal, and this is really a tool, not only for the athletes. They talk about goals and all the sports psych and training and race prep and post-race evaluation. Just a great tool. And you can find this at eliteteam.com. But I wish I was more prepared because I have my journals from when I was at GMVS, when I was a U14. Oh my God, they are the funniest things ever. I was such an optimist.
Okay.
Journaling just gives you a way to track your progress. It gives you a place to put your dreams, your fears, a safe place. And it's just an amazing tool. But I was such an optimist. It's like, okay, this week I'm training really good. Kirk Dwyer, my coach, says I'm skiing fast. I'm going to go for the win this week. And then my journal entry on the race day was like, finished 50th, fell 3 times. But you know what? I thought I skied that one section well. So next week, I'm sure I'm going to win. So I was completely this optimist where I knew I could do it. And I never did. I kept falling and tripping and whatever, but I knew I was going to make it. And that's what you need. You need to be that optimist. You need to be realistic where you are, but you need to be that optimistic guy or girl that has those big goals that keeps you pointed in the right direction.
I love that. I think, especially when you're younger too, you kind of get in this period where it isn't always sunshine and rainbows in ski racing. And so to be able to look back at your old journals, and I have mine too, and it's definitely a funny thing to read through. But you read through and you're like, wow, I did actually think about maybe making one good turn, and that's a win. Let's move to the next one. So it's great to see that you had such a great perspective at a young age, and you can help really bring that to the new kids in the next generation moving forward.
Yeah. The one thing I wanted to show in this post-race evaluation, this is the section of the journal that you fill out after your race. A lot of them are yes, no questions. Did I get enough sleep? Was I focused? Was I able to handle my nerves? Did I give my best effort? Did I thank the volunteers today? Did I help my coach? So you go through those, you might have fallen 3 times and finished 54th, but when you look at those questions and all of a sudden you've answered yes to 20 of them, that means you had a win that day. You had 20 wins, 20 wins that I think you can feel good about going forward. It's not about the results. It's about those wins throughout the day that will help you. And that's something that you've learned. I know you have.
Yeah, definitely a perspective thing. And I think too, like we were talking about your optimism, that I really think is incredible. Is there anything else from your career that you've really taken and you want to make sure that is instilled in the way that you move forward with Eliteam and to the kids? Like if you have one takeaway that you want each kid to leave with after they do a camp or participate in the online program, what is that one thing?
I'm going to try to sneak and give you 2.
Okay.
Number one is patience. I was the tiny kid. I weighed nothing, and I was never fast. I trained and I trained and I worked, and I was always 4th or 11th or 13th. But my parents kept saying, patience, patience, patience. It'll work off. It'll pay off. And it finally did. So that's one thing, is patience. You may be tiny, you may be whatever it is, but if you keep working hard and have patience, you'll get there. Number 2 is something that I think is the most important thing. It has to do with goals, and it's commitment. So everybody has dreams. I want to be on the US ski team. I want to win an Olympic medal. Dreams are important, especially big dreams. But the next step is even more critical, and that's committing to those dreams. Because if you commit to a dream, it becomes a goal, and a goal is positive. And I talk about that commitment that you feel in your belly, and I know you felt it, right? You want it so bad. And when you commit 100%, everything becomes easy. If I have a question, what should I do this afternoon? Sit in front of the television, watch Netflix, or go work out? If I've made that commitment to that goal, the answer is made for me. I'm going out and working out, right? If some kids in your high school want to go drinking and you have to get to bed early, your decision, that tough decision, is easy. I'm not drinking. I'm going to bed because I have made a commitment. So, I love the dreaming, but commit, and then it becomes a goal that makes every question easy. this is what I'm going to do.
I love that. And I think that that is an easy way to just kind of move it into something that makes it feel realistic and something you can control. Because sometimes dreams can feel like they're so far away. But if you just bring it into something that's more tangible, I feel like that helps you move towards those paths. So I like that, the commitment, commit to what you're trying to do. Okay, so I guess really we come down to two more questions here. And one of the big ones is, if I were a part of the elite team, how often do I really, other than commit to it to my daily life, but how often am I supposed to be going to camps? Is it kind of like a one and done type deal, or should I go every summer, or do I go multiple times a summer? What's the best way to go about getting into the whole environment?
Right. So Eliteam is that state of mind of becoming a complete athlete. I really encourage kids to work hard on the slopes. If it works and they can afford a summer ski camp, go for it. But Eliteam is there for you to practice all that other stuff. How to eat well. All right. Because it'll change your life. Eating the right fuel. How to work out. Become tougher, stronger, fitter, faster. Work on that power. That's going to change your skiing. Work on that strength, which is going to allow you to hold that turn. Work on that capacity so you can finish every race strong. And then, of course, work on that mental. So we've had kids that come to camp. You can come to camp at age 11 and they come for 6 years and leave at 14 or 15. So I love it to be part of your workout program, to come to Eliteam camp. But what's easier now and more available is Eliteam online. So it's this dig deep program. We, at the very least, you can have our workout programs. You get 4 individual unique workouts a week. Wow. One works on power, one works on strength, one works on capacity, and a bonus. And throughout those workouts, you can take your skiing amazing places, because just imagine when you get back on snow, and I'm excited, we got a couple months left. When you get back on snow and all of a sudden your body will allow you to do so much more, every training day is going to be a better day because you're tougher, stronger, fitter, faster.
Perfect. So it's nice. You have a way and an opportunity for kids to get involved in all different ways, whether or not they have the access to get to a camp and travel, or if they just want to be really involved and do it online, they still can get all the things that they need. So that's really cool that it can fit to all athletes. And then finally, what's next? Where do you see Eliteam going? What are like the plans for the future? And really just like, is there a major expansion in mind? How do you continue to spread this incredible knowledge to the rest of the ski community?
Right. I think the biggest thing is to dig deep, which is our online program, which has the workouts, the courses, and the community, and just get it out there. We just launched it this past summer. And so we're just in our first year. We're going to tweak it over the winter and then relaunch it next year. But we want to be that place that can supplement everything. So if you're at a ski academy and your fitness is set by your coaches, that's great. But how about taking a sports psychology course and raising that level? If you're at a little club in Catamount, right, in New York and in Connecticut, and you don't have access to a workout program, our workout program will fit it. So we're there just to kind of fill those holes, whether you're academy, club, US ski team, or wherever. We're just trying to be that resource for kids.
Yep, trying to create the well-rounded ski racer. I love it. So, Doug, it was amazing to be able to ask you some of these questions, pick your brain, your experience, and really just how you're giving back to the community every day, to the sport that we all love. And it was a pleasure getting to talk to you. So thank you so much. And to all the Sync community listeners and anybody else, I hope you took away the fact that it's time to commit to your dreams, and really work hard to become the greatest all-around athlete that you can. So thank you so much, Doug, and I hope you have a great year.
Thank you. I will see you on the hill, and ski fast, everybody.